Okay, you are welcome to today's podcast of the system, which will talk about everything medicine. And our guest today is Abubakar Ismail Muhammad, who is also known as RAPTOR. Is from Zangon Daura, Katsina State, but was born in Kano State. He is a fifth-year medical student in Bayero University, Kano. He is the current Vice President of the National Association of Katsina Medical Students and Chief Operating Officer of AY Clothing. He is also a member of the Nigerian affiliate of International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War. He is also a blood access facilitator of Haima Health. He is a former intern at Bridge Connect Africa Initiative, which is an NGO that focuses on maternal and child health and gender-based violence. He is also an active NIMSite. He was a former director of New Media under the Office of the President of Nigerian Medical Students Association, also former Deputy Director, Standing Committee on Professional Exchange, Chief of Staff to Awa Shanono's Foundation Director, Regional Assistant, Standing Committee on Capacity Building, Regional Director of Quiz and Competition and Academics, Regional Director of New Media, current Deputy Chief of Staff to BUMSA President. RAPTOR won the 2022 Maiden Neuroscience Quiz of the Nigerian Association of Neurosurgeons and Prof. Hadiza Galadanchi's annual essay competition. He holds a silver medal of biology in the National Olympiad competition in Katsina State. You are welcome, our guest.
Very much, sir. It's an honor to be here. But actually, I'm the former deputy chief of staff, not the current deputy chief of staff. Thank you for having me in this session.
Thank you very much for honoring our request. Now let's go straight into the program. Now we would like to start by, I would like you to help us share your personal journey in the medical school, emphasizing on significant milestone from your level 1 down to this level in brief.
Okay, thank you very much for this question. So I feel when you look at medical school, at every point in time, you're actually achieving milestones, because with each exam, it's like you are heading somewhere. It's like you are heading to your target of becoming a medical doctor. So I feel everywhere in medical school, it's all about milestones. Just by finishing a posting, like if you are done with M1, it's actually a really good milestone. Also, if you are done with S2, it's a milestone because you're actually going somewhere. So it's like you are seeing your vision, your dream. It's coming very close to you. And then challenges I face in medical school. Yeah, in every journey, there have to be there are challenges, because life is not smooth. It's a bumpy ride, and then at some point you have to go through the rumbles and then the tumbles. But then it's all about how you stand after facing all these obstacles that determine how far you go or how well you are going. So some of the challenges I actually face in medical school, medical school is tiring. It's really tiring and demanding. So there are a lot of things which I do before. With medical school, to some extent, medical school has limited what I can do. More especially if you look at before, I used to write a lot of things, but now because of medical school, I don't have that liberty to write whatsoever I want to write, or to read novels whenever I want to read novels, and then stuff like that. So these are some of the challenges I face in medical school. And then sometimes while in level 2, that's the first class. that's where most of us tend to have a lot of challenges, because you are new into the system, having a transition from biology, physics, chemistry to anatomy. The first day you hear, because I still can remember vividly when Dr. Modi was telling us about the muscle with the longest name, levator lava alaquina C. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, can I even remember this name? Because the name is very long.
Yes.
So I was like, can I remember this name? Then you come and then they tell you all sort of jargons, and then most of these words are not English words.
Yes,
They are words
yes.
from Latin, from Greek.
Yes.
So it's not like, okay, you are familiar with the words. They are new words. So it's like you are learning the grammar and then you are learning the stuff. So it's really hectic. It's challenging actually when you look at it from that aspect.
Yes.
So I think these are some of the milestones and then challenges I can see in medical school.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your challenges with us. You know, when you were saying the level 2 stuff, I could remember some people saying level 2 is the place where everybody gets humbled. Yeah. So, the next thing, please would like to know, what was your motivation in the first place to start pursuing medicine as a career?
Okay. I think, as far as I can remember, since when I was a child, what do I want to be? I will tell you, I want to be a medical doctor. Then while I was growing, then I was like, okay, I now want to be a brain surgeon, neurology, neurology or neurosurgery. Because at that point, I can still remember when they were telling me, like, okay, there are only 3 neurosurgeons in Nigeria. I think Prof. Bibi Shehu and others.
Yes.
In the northern part of the country.
Yes.
So I think my passion has been there since as a child, and I think I've never thought of doing anything other than medicine. The only thing that I fancy is piloting. I fancy piloting because it's something good to fly to fly in the air, like, wow.
Yes.
So I really fancy piloting actually, but then I don't think since childhood I've wanted to do anything beside medicine. So the motivation has been there, and then is there any other motivation I can remember? I don't think there is any other motivation.
Wow, I can understand from you that it's been a natural thing, like you just have it from day one. That's nice. So, you know, they said everybody almost face similar challenges in medical school. So this is with regards to people just coming into level 2, and so, like, what are the common pitfalls that you can, like, highlight so that they will take note of in case as they are coming into level 2 and people moving into level 3 and so on?
Okay, so yes, like you said, some of the challenges are like a general market. Just like you're playing a what the general market, everyone will face that challenge. But then some challenges are actually peculiar to certain individuals. Like, okay, this one has this problem, while this one doesn't have this problem. So yes, some of the challenges, one is like I said from the beginning, a level 2, you are trying to still see the journey. Like, you're trying to even understand where the tides is going, where the boat is trying to carry you. So yeah. Some of us tend to, like, okay, lose our way with the tides and stuff like that. So in level 2, in level 2 again, you tend to see that, okay, there is time. You'll be like, it's 20 weeks, right? 20 weeks. Yes. 20 weeks. You have like 40 weeks. You'll be like, wow, there is time. But then you won't know that there is no time until you see you in the second phase. And then you have to revise the things you did in first phase, the first lecture, like the brachial plexus, all that stuff like that in the upper limb. You have to remember those things. And that's when you realize, wow, So the time at that time that I thought I had was actually a mirage.
Wow.
It was just a mirage. Yes. So time management is one of the issues most medical students face, and school doesn't teach you how to manage your time. There are skills that you don't learn them within the walls of school.
Yes.
Time management is one of those skills. So time management is something we face a lot of challenges. Then another thing is there is this Jambito. Let me say Jambito issue, because level 2 is like Jambito to medical school.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't really even understand what is actually going within the medical school in level 2. Some of us will not really understand what's going on until maybe it's just 2 months, 3 months exam.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that will tell you they finished level 2, maybe it was only like a few months to exams that they realize, oh, this is even how I'm supposed to go about it. Because maybe they lack orientation and other things. That's another issue. Then another issue is with medical school that usual new students used to face is sometimes we tend to think, or we tend to realize, or we tend to question ourselves that meant for this place when start getting really tough.
Yeah.
So some of us tend to we lack confidence. We tend to have some faults along the way in medical school while trying to navigate our way. So that's another issue we tend to face. Some of us don't even know at first, okay, why are we here? Some of us think medicine it's actually very easy.
Yes.
But then we realize it's not. It's something that needs dedication and stuff like that. We also face this one is peculiar to some people. Is some people are in medicine not really because they maybe because at home they told them, okay, you should go and study medicine. Yes. Then they start medicine and then later they realize this is not for me. And it continues like that. They maybe some will even get into depression. They don't even know, and all sort of. So some will have to even change their course to another course.
Yeah.
That's another issue that a lot of people used to face. And like I said, there is this issue of another issue is we tend to, let me go back to time management, because anatomy is really bulky. Because anatomy, there is the gross morphology, the gross anatomy of the morphology. Yeah. There is the histology. Yeah. There is the embryology. Yeah. Then take physiology also. You have to do all those respiratory physiology, cardiovascular physiology. Then you look at chemistry. In biochemistry, you have this nutrition and biochemistry, cardiovascular metabolism. So when you look at it, you cover like the courses that someone will cover in 3 years or 4 years, while you're expected to cover those topics in 2 years.
Yes.
And life doesn't start and end within the world of medicine. You have other things that you have to do. You can't just say you are going to focus everything and focus all your time in studying medicine. You have to try and develop yourself. You have to try and get other personal skills, other skills outside the world of medicine. Because at the end of the day, each and every one of us will graduate with an unclassified degree. But mind you, I'm not saying because we are going to graduate an unclassified degree, then you shouldn't aim for good grades. No. You should aim for good grades, but then at the same time, we are trying to see how you can get some interpersonal skills, some very good skills that are outside the world that you are going to survive. Because now the world is actually evolving. Skills are very, very important, but then grades are also important, because that we are now in the era of JAPA. There are some institutions or some hospitals that they request a letter from your diary. The letter in the diary, I think what is required in the letter is your grades, how you've been as a student and stuff like that. So you see, if your grades are not good, you're already now in a very tight spot because you are an immigrant, an IMG coming from another country.
Yeah.
So if your grades are not good, it will be very tough. It will be very tough for you to get there.
Yes. Yes.
So time management is something very important. You have to know when to do this, when not to do this, and between when to do this and then when not to do this is actually a thin line, which most of us sometimes don't even know we are crossing the lines.
Yeah.
So with regards to time management, like for instance, they said all work no play make Jack a dull boy. So yes, it's actually true. So you have to know when am I going to do my hobbies, when am I going to do my leisure my side activities, things that will cool me off. And then you have to know, okay, when should I read? That's why there is this advice that if you ask me, let me give a medical school a single advice. That advice would be know yourself. Because the moment you know yourself, you know that, okay, I am not my friend. Then you are done. You've already achieved a lot. Because if you say you are going to copy what your friend is doing, your friend might be someone with a retentive memory that, okay, we'll just see a paper and then that's it. While you are someone that, okay, you have to read maybe at least twice. So if you say you are going to do what your friend is doing, then that's a problem. Or your friend can read for 12 hours and you can only read for 2 hours. Then you say you have to read for those 12 hours. That's not how it works. It's all about who you are. Okay, what can I do? What's my elastic limit? Because a lot of people are having breakdown in medical school. So you have to know, let me not take myself to where I'll break. It's very important. So I think these are some of the challenges. And another thing is when exam comes, exam alone is a challenge. Then there's the issue of also result, when result comes out. With medical school, it's actually, you cannot really predict how the class result will go.
Yes.
You cannot really predict. You can see, although yes, there are some people that you can say this person is kind of safe, but then you cannot really say 100% is safe. You can say, okay, this person maybe is safe. Well, this person, maybe from tests and stuff like that, there are some predictors and indicators that you can use to actually. So sometimes when results comes out, you see things that you've never expected. It's just like you go north. It's just like you go north, and then the result will go south.
Yes.
So with result also, you have to make sure you are praying. You have to make sure you do your best. But while doing your best, then when result comes out, try and don't tell yourself that, okay, I'm not really good enough. No. Rather, okay, is this thing my mistake? That's the first question you ask yourself. If it's my mistake, then where can I rectify this mistake? Okay, if it's not my mistake, then what happened? Is it that maybe that's a way God has already ordained that this thing will happen this way? Whether whether I did my very best, that it has to be this way, or the issue is from how I approach the question or how the lecturers are. So these are some of the questions you ask yourself, and then you move better.
Yes.
Okay. Then another issue we like in medical school is consistency. The journey is very long. There are some classes you spend more than 365 days, or very close to 365 days. And most of us, we like that consistency. And one thing with consistency is, it's like every day you have to do something. But then with consistency, you are not expected in those 365 days to be consistent all through 365 days. It's not like that. Some days you are in your high, some days you are in your down, some days you are low, some days. So So that's how it works. But then you have to make sure in most of your days you are consistent. In most of your days you are consistent. Okay, if I say I will do, if you put a target, then I'd make sure I achieve that target. You have to make target for yourself in medical school because there are a lot of things. You can't just go around helter-skelter looking for things. No, you have to make a target. Okay, I want to achieve this thing by so time. So it's very important. Then another issue is some of us, like I said, some of us lack discipline. Not really, if I say discipline, not really discipline in the sense of being rude or bad attitudes. Discipline in the sense that some of us cannot, if they tell themselves, okay, I will read for 1 hour, maybe they will sit for 1 hour, but then in that 1 hour, they will only read for 25 minutes. For 5 minutes, they are going to be doing other things. And discipline is actually a very important ingredient of success. Well, so success sometimes doesn't have a fixed ingredients, but there are some things that you can say, okay, these things are maybe some of the recipes you can use in order to succeed. But we're not saying if you use, maybe Mr. A can use this to succeed, but Mr. B can copy the exact thing Mr. A did, and then he will still not succeed. But there are some things that are predictors of success, actually. So discipline is something very important that you have to be disciplined in medical school. So I think these are some of the challenges. There are a lot I know I've missed some of them.
Yes, you have done justice to almost all the stuff. Yes, medical school is packed with a lot of stress and burnout. So would like to know, I'm sure with the way you explain your stuff, planned, and you hardly go into stress, but one or two stress that you might have gone into, like how do you really manage stress and maybe burnout?
Okay. Like I said, you have to know yourself. You have to know what can I take, what can I not take. It's very important to know that. Okay, where can I go, where can I not go? How much pressure can I handle, how much pressure can I not handle? So if you know that, then you see you'll be working toward, okay, the pressure that I can handle, how far I can go with stress and other things. Then the moment you see you're going towards stress, there are other things you do in order to cool off. For someone like me, sometimes I play football. Maybe sometimes sometimes I'll just go and maybe sit with my friends, just discuss, maybe share stories, things like that. Sometimes I'll just go and play video game. So you have to know, okay, what do I enjoy? So if you know what you enjoy, and then the school, you might not really burn yourself out. You might do just fine. And like I said, yourself, if you know, okay, I can only read for 3 hours in a day, then 3 hours, it's good for you. You should try and utilize those 3 hours. If you know you can handle 5 hours, you use the limitation of the hours you know you can handle. In that way, you will avoid a lot of stress. And then you have to plan your time. Okay, maybe now I'll sleep by 11 p.m. You have to plan your day. Okay, I'll sleep by 11 p.m. I'll wake up by so time, maybe pray my subhi prayer. If not, maybe I'll work by so time, maybe and do other things. Then okay, I can go to sleep after my subhi prayer. Then okay, by this time I should be in class. This time I should do this and this and this. Okay, in the night I'll start reading from this time to my bedtime. The moment it's my bedtime, then whatsoever I'm doing, the maximum minutes maybe I can add is maybe just 30 minutes.
All right.
So if you have to, there are things that you can't actually cheat nature.
Yes.
So there are things that you have to follow the rule of nature. Okay, should have adequate sleep. You should eat healthy food. You should, and there are some unnecessary things that you have to leave them by the side. Some things are actually unnecessary, and then they are not going to add any value to your life. So all those things you can drop them aside if they are just going to add stress to your life. So these are some of the things I think you can use in trying to handle stress.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Now next, we are all, I would say, wondering, like, trying to know how, one, your study techniques, and when the timetable is being pasted, your exam preparation techniques, and how you still maintain all those things and still effectively practice in the clinical rotations. Like all the residents used to say, you hardly miss the clinical rotations. So we would like to know how you those things to help us.
All right. So with my reading, I can't really see it. Okay, this is how I used to read. Because yes, what I do is maybe I have a time. Okay, maybe I'll read from let's say from Isha, maybe like something like 8 to 11. But then I know it's not feasible for me to study from 8 to 11. Maybe from 8 to 11, more than half of the time, or less than half of the time, I will be doing other things, maybe checking Twitter, checking Instagram, and things like that. Maybe I will just get only 1.5 hour or 2 hours in a day.
All right.
When you look at it, if I'm going to do this out of 365 days, I'm going to do this in 350 days or 340 days. Meaning, though the other days I'm not going to read, because like I said, consistency is something very hard. But in most of the days you should be consistent. So if you multiply 2 times 360 days, that's a lot of hours. To learn something new. Every day to learn something, you should be eager to learn. And the moment you hear someone say something that you don't know, there are now we have access to a lot of materials. Just carry your phone, maybe check it, brush through it. You hardly forget things that maybe you discuss with someone, or things that someone said, and then that's the first time you hear them. You hardly forget stuff like that. And with clinical rotation, it's very good to apply yourself. We might see people telling us applying yourself, and then we'll be like, okay, what do they mean? Or are these people trying to ridicule us? But that's the reality. Because it's a skill. You have to see people doing it. You cannot learn it in the textbook. You have to see people doing it. The demography of what the white authors will write in foreign book might be different from what is happening here. So that's why I said it's a skill, because how robust our healthcare system is not as robust as the healthcare system in US. So you have to be applying yourself, and then find people that you do group discussion with. Okay, today we are going to do this. We are going to cover this. We are going to cover this. And then sometimes even with the senior registrars, the registrars also, sometimes you can meet one of them. They are truly friendly. Okay, meet them. Okay, sir, I'd like us maybe to discuss this. So most of them will tell you, okay, tell me what you know. So if they tell you what you know, then they will add on the things maybe you missed. The things you missed, that's what they are going to add.
Yeah.
So these are some of the ways I used to like read. And you have to be examining, you have to be practicing. Maybe in the clinical side, you have to be practicing how you clerk patients, try and examine patients. Don't be afraid of making mistake. That's one thing about it. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistake. Let me make the mistake, because my patients are going to require the best hand. So let me make the mistake as a student, not as a doctor. Let me get corrected as a student, not as a medical doctor. So I think these are some of the ways one can use in order to study and then to learn a lot of.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us. Now, next, with the coming of AI, like now everybody is kind of like going into ChatGPT and so. What can you say about like the textbook or ChatGPT? Like how do we leverage this, since the lecturers will be like rely on your textbook and we will be like would like to use ChatGPT. So what is your take on this?
All right. So first, let me see. I actually relate with people that are anti ChatGPT. To be honest, I tended to relate to them. I'm not saying I'm the GPT. I'm not saying that. But yes, some of the things in internet, some of them are people that will go. People will just go and write. Maybe for instance in Wikipedia, someone will just go and write something. Even ChatGPT sometimes, I don't know how ChatGPT operates, so I will not say much about it, about how they source their information. But in textbook, this is something that a lot of people have gone through it, has passed through a lot of review stage. Different people across the globe have actually gone through it. People are still going through it. So if there is anything that contradicts what's there, people might say, okay, this contradicts what's happening in the review. That's why you have a lot of reviewers. But like you said, you are trying to leverage things. So in everything else, you can combine the textbook and then the chat GPT. Maybe you use the textbooks for your reading, your normal daily. Okay, I want to just know this. Okay, I would something skip my mind. Then okay, let me just go to ChatGPT so that it reminds me, stuff like that. But not as your foundation of reading. So I think this is what I will say with.
Okay, thank you very much. So looking forward now, we are glad to know some of your aspiration with regards to the remaining years in the medical school and beyond. Like you said, you would love to be a neurosurgeon. So we would love to hear more on that.
Alright, so currently my aspiration in medical school is, let me finish medical school first. Let me just finish medical school. Because, once, gentle steps, if you have these gentle steps. So once okay, let me finish medical school. If I finish medical school, then maybe do my house job, my NYSC, then do other things, then maybe do primaries and then start the residency. So neurosurgery, it's something I really want to do. I'm very passionate about that. So I'm considering where to do it, whether in Nigeria or maybe to try going outside. If you ask me, okay, if you are going to give me slots, okay, you have outside, you have Nigeria, definitely I'll go for outside, because some of the conditions in the country, you have to consider those conditions. But then if the conditions are going to be suitable, I think staying in Nigeria will be very good. I think these are some of aspirations I have. If you ask me, probably I want to go out, but then anywhere I get it, maybe I'll try and commit and then do that. At the end of the day, we are not all going to leave Nigeria and practice outside. Still, some of us are going to stay in Nigeria and practice.
Thank you very much for that. Throughout our discussion, most of your goals and everything have been somewhat aligning to the SMART goal. Which advice can you give to us in kind of trying to set SMART goal, especially like we in the clinicals and those in the preclinicals, trying to see how can we really set SMART goal?
All right. So like you said, even from the SMART goals, I think the SMART goal it's actually a mnemonic from community medicine that people
Yes.
use. But so each word has a meaning actually. So I think S is sustainable, right?
I think specific.
M is specific.
Yes.
M is measurable. A is attainable. Then the R is
Yes.
okay. I think really something like that. So everything you have to look at. Okay, you should use this SMART in order to plan for your goals. Okay, it's specific. Okay, what do I want? At every point in your life, ask yourself, what do I really want? Why am I doing this? So if you can have answers to this question, then you have specific goals that you're not just going to be looking to be gunless, you're not going to be visionless, rather you have a scope of where you're going. You have a specific goal. Okay, this is what I want. And the moment you have a specific goal, everything, all your energy, all your plans are going to go towards that. The measurable is attainable. Okay, measurable is something that's it's really measurable. You can say it. Then talk of attainable, something that you can do. Don't say I am going to gather the stuff of Dr. Kana while as a medical student. It's kind of not attainable. Dr. Kana is exceptional. So to say I'm going to gather his stuff as a medical student, it's not attainable. Then you talk about the time bound. Okay, it should be within by the end of M1. Okay, maybe I should do this and this and this and this. Okay, like I said, timing is very important because medical school you have a lot of postings that you have to go through. So in everything you have to know, okay, I have to do this and this. So I think this is my advice. Look for goals, know what you want, why you want it, and then go for it. Then you plan according to that.
So now we come to the conclusion. Would like to thank you so much for the in-depth explanation on how we'll be able to navigate, as said, the medical school like a raptor. They say raptor is kind of like an animal that prey on anything. So I believe you have been preying on all the marks in medical school and just devouring them along the way. So thank you very much for sharing your knowledge, and we hope to have you another time again.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. And my final advice to everyone, try as much as possible to enjoy medical school. I think it's really nice. You should be honest. You should be generous. Try as much as possible to help anyone you could. Anyone that needs help, give them a helping hand. And if you know something, try and teach people that don't know. Don't just keep the knowledge to yourself. At the end of the day, that person that you are trying to hide knowledge from might actually treat your relative. So try as much as possible. Be kind to everyone. Be honest. Don't fight anyone, and then don't be involved. Don't get involved in all those side talks. There are a lot of things while doing that side talks, those back talks. You should go and learn something. So I wish everyone all the best. And also, I'm not navigating that smoothly in medical school. I'm also having some waves are carrying me into places that are very difficult.
Thank you
very much for having me.
So bye.